Sam, one of the topics I think would be valuable is a strategy script or guideline for what to message people, or how to respond, or how to have your convo with people to book the sales call when you are doing organic methods of client attraction. Got it. So I have actually put together something pretty much just like this recently, and it was called, let me see if I can show it to you. Because my screen is there, I've got to use my phone to show you this. But I was making some training the other day, and yeah, I've noticed that really the methods of direct outreach and organic have changed. You know, the world's shifted a bit recently. And what I've noticed is before, like the traditional way we did direct outreach was by looking on Google, finding businesses, then getting an Excel file, taking down the business name, the website, their phone number, their postal address, right? And then what we'd do is we'd send them a direct mail, lumpy mail, or we'd send them a cold email. And that used to work, but I have been watching it. It still works, by the way. But one thing is for sure, that it has gotten slightly less effective, and it is trending along the line where it's getting less and less effective. So I've been watching this and observing it and thinking, where are things moving here? And what I've found is that what's working best right now is it's like new age organic attraction. That's actually what I called it, new age organic attraction. And basically, instead of looking for people on Google, instead of looking for businesses on Google, we're looking for people in groups. So we go to Facebook, we find groups that our niche is in. So if you're in the accounting niche, you search into Facebook accounting groups. You find those groups, you join those groups, you get into those groups, you get accepted. And then what you do is you start to observe people who are posting and all of that, and then you can learn all about your niche. You know, this is actually a much better way to do your market research than BuzzSumo and blogs and things like that. You know, Facebook groups that are niche specific are probably the best place to go to get information right now, because you can literally infiltrate a community of that niche that's all there, and you can see who's in it, what they're like, all of that stuff. So if you haven't joined Facebook groups specific to your niche, do it right now. It's very important. But then once you're in those groups, you can then add people as friends. So you start adding people who are your ideal clients as friends, and then they accept your friend request. And then once they accept your friend request, then you can send them a direct message on Facebook. And the direct message has really become the new email, and it's also become the new lumpy mail. And why it works better than email and lumpy mail is that when you send someone an email, there's no personality or individual behind that message. So when you send an email, it's very cold, and it doesn't say, most people don't even have an image of themselves. You can't see what that person's like. You can't see anything about them. It's just an email address. That's it. And what's different with social media is first of all, you can't send someone a message until you've added them as a friend and they've accepted you. So now there's a barrier there that email doesn't have. Anyone can email anyone, so people are naturally, they treat it like delete, 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 delete. But when someone's your friend and they message you after you've accepted them, totally different game. Way, way, way different. Also, what's different about it is people can look at your profile. So they can see photos of you. They can see what you're like, what your personal life is like photos of you and your family, or doing hobbies that you like. And they can also see different pieces of content that you've posted about that are specific to your niche. So there's way more personality behind it, and there's way more interaction too. You know, with a Facebook message, someone can look at your profile, interact with that, and they can message back and forth way faster. But with email, it's way more transactional, and it's way more stale, and it's less personal. So I've been watching this trend for a while now, and I can tell you now that we're going to be starting to phase out the old methods of organic outreach that we're teaching. We're still going to show them, but they're definitely not working as well as the methods on Facebook. So that method is find the groups, join them, add people as friends. Once they accept, direct message them. That's the method. And it also works on LinkedIn too. You can search for your niche on LinkedIn, and then you find the people who are in your niche, and then you add them as a connection on LinkedIn. And then you message them, DM them, as soon as they've accepted your connection. So that's the new method that works right now, and that's what you should be doing. Hopefully you can see this. So I made this training the other day, and this is the new method that we use. You can see we have, we join Facebook groups, and in our niche, then we add people as friends. And then once they accept our friends, we can send them a message. Once we send them a message, we are trying to get them onto a 15-minute chat. That's a phone call where we basically qualify to see if they're a good fit for a strategy session. Then if they accept that, then we get them on to, or if they're a good fit on the strategies, on the 15-minute chat, then we get them scheduled for a strategy session. And then what can happen is if they don't reply to our message or they're not interested now, that's fine. But what will happen is they can still see our profile, and whenever we post content on our profile, they're going to see that. So this method here, it works better in the short term, but it also works better in the long term because it has compounding effects. As we grow our network by adding more friends in our niche, and as we start posting more content, we start to really, stir the pot with our market. And so we get both long-term benefit here and short-term benefit. Whereas with direct outreach using the old methods of cold email and stuff, we get an instant benefit, but we don't really get a long-term benefit. So this strategy beats the old strategy hands down. And you can also use LinkedIn and LinkedIn connections, and that's what we do it. And that's the whole flow and the process of it here. And I've really categorized it into 4 categories: hunting, advancing, farming, and closing. So if I was you, I'd take a screenshot of this now because my arm's getting tired. I'm going to have to put this phone down in a sec. But the red ones are hunting. So you're hunting if you're doing the red activities, joining Facebook groups and adding people as friends, or searching on LinkedIn and adding people as connections. That's hunting. Advancing is messaging people who accepted you as friends on Facebook and LinkedIn. And then you're trying to push them onto a 15-minute chat. And advancing is also doing 15-minute chats and then getting those people booked in for strategy sessions. And then farming is the dark blue boxes, and that is posting content on your profile on Facebook and LinkedIn. And finally, closing is doing the strategy sessions. So if you remember in the training, I said there's only really 2 things that are important: generating strategy sessions and doing strategy sessions. If you do those 2 things, you will get clients. If you get clients, you'll make money. If you make money, you can do all sorts of things. So but where a few people got confused is they're like, yeah, I know, generate strategy sessions, do strategy sessions. I get it. I want to do strategy sessions, but I don't have any of them to do. And then so we're like, all right, well, what are you doing to generate strategy sessions? And then they would say, well, I'm sending out cold email, but people aren't really replying and stuff. And this is where we could run into some confusion here, because people would just send out template emails, but because there was low interaction and there's low personal connection in there, email is, in some niches it can work, and in some it might not. And depending on how good your message is or what your offer is, there's too many variables in there, and sometimes it can work, sometimes it might not. So what we've decided to do is change the training to this new age client attraction, where we stop sending the cold email and lumpy mail. We get onto social networks and we farm those things instead. Because once you've got someone as a friend or a connection, it's different. Plus, people are now using chat and direct messages more than they're using email. There's more engagement there, higher response rate, all of that. And so that's the new method. And if you want to know numbers and specifics, well, you want to try and add at least 40, not at least, at You don't want to add any more than 40 new friends per day on Facebook. So every 24 hours, find up to 40 people who are in your niche, look at them, look at their profile, see if you think they're a good fit. If they are, add them as a friend. And then on LinkedIn, you should add up to about 20, 30 people per day as connections. If you do that every day, in a 24-hour period, roughly 50% of those people you add as friends will accept your friend request. So if today it's Monday and I add 40 people as a friend, tomorrow I check in on Tuesday, 20 people have accepted, 50% accept rate. Now I can direct message those 20. And if I direct message 20, about 50% of them will reply. And from that, I chat to those people. And then of that, let's say out comes like 4 15-minute chats and 2 strategy sessions and 1 client, right? That's a rough kind of breakdown. But every day you're adding more people, and every day more people are accepting, and every day more people accept, you send out more messages. Every day you do that, more people are talking to you and replying to you, and it's very interactive. You know, there's conversations going back and forward and all of this, so you're able to collect more feedback as well. Unlike sometimes when you're sending a cold email, someone doesn't tell you why they're not interested. They just delete it. So this new method I'm pretty excited about, and we're going to be rolling it into Accelerator later on as an update, but it works really well. I've seen countless case studies of people using it really well. It's very powerful. So if you're not doing that, do it.